Welcome children, take out your history book. Chapter 7, Rise of British Power in Bengal. Today's topic, Consequences of the Battle. Mir Jafar was appointed as the new Nawab of Bengal. Now Mir Jafar, what was he appointed? He was appointed as the new Nawab of Bengal. But he was only the figurehead Nawab as the British East India Company held all the power. But what was he? He was the Nawab. He was the just figurehead Nawab. That means he was a puppet in the hand of the British India Company because the British India Company vested all the powers in them. Under Mir Jafar, the company slowly gained control over Bengal. Now, under the rule of Mir Jafar, the company slowly gained control over Bengal. This marked the beginning of the political supremacy of the British East India Company in Bengal and in other parts of India. Now, this what it marked? It marked the beginning of the political supremacy of the British East India Company in Bengal and other parts of India. The company was given the zamindari system of 24 parganas along with huge monetary tributes. Now, company, what was it given? It was given the zamindari rights of the 24 parganas along with huge monetary tributes. Mir Jafar paid the company an amount of 300 lakh. Now Mir Jafar, what it paid? It paid the company that was an amount of 300 lakh rupees. The English traders exploited the Indian artisan and traders for their commercial. Now English traders, what they did? They always used to exploit the Indian artisan and even the traders for their commercial interest. The textile industry could not survive the competition with the cheap machine-made goods imported from Britain. Now, textile industry, what they couldn't do? They couldn't survive this competition with this cheap machine-made goods which were imported from Britain. The artisan became unemployed. Now, artisans, what it became? It became very unemployed and were pushed towards debt and poverty. And where they were pushed? They were pushed towards debt and even poverty. This made Bengal economically weak. Now, what it made Bengal? It made Bengal economically weak. The resources of Bengal were now at disposal of the company. This helped them win the third Carnatic. Now, resources of Bengal, what were? They were at the disposal of the company, and what it helped? It helped them to win the third Carnatic War. The Battle of Plassey transformed the trading company into a political. Now, Battle of Plassey, what it transformed? It transformed a trading company that was into a political power. Bengal after the Battle of Plassey. Now, Bengal, what was it after the Battle of Plassey? The economic condition of Bengal began to deteriorate when Mir Jafar opposed the company's greedy and exploitative demand. He was disposed and his son-in-law Mir Qasim was crowned the Nawab of Bengal. Now, what happened? Economic condition of Bengal. What happened? It began to disintegrate. That means it began to fall when Mir Jafar, he opposed the company's greed and exploited demand. He was disposed and his son-in-law, that is Mir Qasim, he came to the throne and became the Nawab of Bengal. Mir Qasim was an efficient and able. Now, what type of ruler Mir Qasim was? He was very efficient and able ruler. He undertook reforms to improve the financial condition of Bengal and his people. Now, what happened? He took the administrative control over it and tried to improve the financial condition of Bengal and his people. The employees of the East India Company misused their free trade privileges by selling their duty-free permits to some Indian merchant. Now, the East India Company, they misused their free trade privileges. How? They used to sell their duty-free permits to some Indian merchants. This resulted in a huge loss of revenue to the Nawab. Now, what happened? It resulted in a huge loss of revenue to the Nawab. This was not fair on the local merchants who had to pay heavy taxes, because it was not at all fair for the local merchants who paid the heavy taxes. Therefore, Mir Qasim abolished the duties on internal trade and placed limits on trade privileges of the company. And for this reason, Mir Qasim, what he did? He abolished this. He stopped the duties on the internal trade and then placed the limits of the trade privileges of the company. He tried to free himself from the control of the company and dismiss the court officials who favored them. Now, Mir Qasim, what he did? He tried to free himself from the control of the company's rule and dismissed all the court officials who favored the British. He also built a strong army. Even he built a strong army.
These developments in Bengal were not run in favor of the company. Now, this development in Bengal, it was not at all in favor of the company, and it began to adversely affect the economic interest. And what happened? It adversely affected the economic interest. Hostility between the company and Qasim increased, and the company declared war against Mir Qasim in 1763. Now, what happened? Hostility between the company and Mir Qasim, what happened? It increased, and even the company declared war against Mir Qasim in 1763. Battle of Buxar, that was in 1764. Mir Qasim fled to Awadh. Mir Qasim, where he fled? He fled to Awadh and sought the support of Nawab Shuja-ud-Dawla and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. Mir Qasim, what happened? He fled to Awadh and then he took the support of Nawab Shuja-ud-Dawla and even the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. Both of them agreed to help Mir Qasim in the battle against the British troops. Now, both of them, what they did? They agreed to help Mir Qasim in the battle against the British troops. The battle was fought on the banks of Ganga at Buxar on 22nd October 1760. Now, battle. Where was it fought? It was fought on the Ganga at Buxar on 22nd October 1764. The company forces faced the combined armies of Mir Qasim, Shuja-ud-Dawla and Shah Alam II and defeated them. Now, company forces, what they did? They faced this combined army of Mir Qasim, Shuja-ud-Dawla and Shah Alam II and then defeated them. The Nawab was defeated and Mir Jafar was reinstated on the throne. Nawab, he was defeated and Mir Jafar they reinstated on the throne. This was known as the Battle of And what was it known as? It was known as the Battle of Buxar. With this victory, Bengal was virtually taken over the British East India. Now, with this victory of Bengal, it was virtually taken over by the British East India Company. Now, consequences of the Battle of Buxar. The Battle of Buxar was a significant event in the history of India. Battle of Buxar, what was it? It was a very important event in the history of India. The East India Company occupied Bengal and took complete control over it. East India Company, what it did? It occupied Bengal and then took control over it. A territory known as the Treaty of Alhabad was signed by the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam. Now, territory, what was it known as? A territory, it was known as the Treaty of Alhabad and it was signed by Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II, Nawab Shuja-ud-Dawla and Lord Clive in 1765. The treaty marked the beginning of the political and constitutional involvement. Now, treaty, what it marked? It marked the beginning of the political and constitutional involvement of the British Company in India. Thus, it initiated British rule over India. And so, it initiated, what happened? It initiated British rule over India. Under this treaty, the company was given the right of Diwani of Bengal from Mughal Empire. Now, under this treaty, what happened? Company was given the right of Diwani of Bengal from Mughal Empire. According to this treaty, the company could directly collect revenue from the states of Bengal. Now, according to this right, what happened? Company, they could directly collect revenue from the states of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. The company gave districts of Kora and Alhabad to Shah Alam II. Now, company, what it gave? It gave the districts of Kora and Alhabad to Shah Alam II and then agreed to pay the annual sum of 26 lakh rupees. Even they agreed to pay the annual sum of 26 lakh rupees to him. Awadh was returned to Shuja-ud-Dawla, but he was made to pay a huge amount of 53 lakh rupees as war indemnity to the East India Company. Now, Awadh, it was returned back to Shuja-ud-Dawla but he was made to pay 53 lakh rupees as war indemnity to the East India Company. Moreover, the two signed an alliance that required the company to support the Nawab against any foreign attack or invasion if the Nawab paid for the troops and they were sent to his aid. Moreover, what happened? They signed an alliance and it required the company would support the Nawab against the foreign attack or invasion if the Nawab paid for the troops and it was sent for this help. This alliance made the Nawab extremely dependent. Now, this alliance, what it made? It made the Nawab too much dependent on the company. Now, consequences in Bengal. Now, results. Dual government system. Under the Diwani rights granted to the East India Company, the Mughal Emperor through the Treaty of Alhabad, the company had control over the collection of the revenue but was not responsible for the administration of the provinces. Now, under this Diwani right, which was granted to the East India Company by the Mughal Empire through the Treaty of Alhabad, the company, what it had? It had the control of the control for collection of revenue
but they were not responsible for the administration of the provinces. The Nawab had all the responsibility of bearing administrative expenses, but no power. Now Nawab bear the responsibility of had the responsibility of bearing the administration, but no power. This arrangement was known as dual government, and this type of arrangement, it was only known as dual government. This meant that there were two rulers at the same time. One was the company and the other was the ruler. Other ruler was the Nawab. Now, what it meant that there were two rulers at the same time. That was one was what? One was the company, and the other was what? It was the Nawab who was responsible for the governor. The administration without access to economic resources or power. Now, administration and it could without any access to economic resources or power. This arrangement was beneficial. Now, this arrangement, what was it? It was very beneficial to the company. The English did not share the revenue of the Bengal and the Nawab, but only provided a small amount of it to run the administration. Now, English, it never shared the revenue of Bengal with the Nawab, but always provided the small amount of it to run the administration. This system drained Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Now, this system, what happened? It drained Bengal, Bihar and Orissa of their wealth. In 1770, the famine broke out in Bengal. 1770, what happened? A famine broke out in Bengal. It was the most severe famine of the century and wiped out 1/3 of the population of the province. Now, this was the most severe famine of the century, and so wiped out 1/3 population of the province. Even then, no aid was provided by the company. Even such severe famine, then also no help was given by the company. The evils of the dual government system began to manifest themselves. Now, evils of this dual government, it began to manifest themselves. Eventually, the administration and the economic collapsed. Now, what happened? Even the administration and economy got collapsed. In 1772, the court of directors of the company appointed Lord Warren Hastings as the new governor general. Now, what happened? In 1772, the court of directors of the company, what they did? They appointed Lord Warren Hastings as the new governor general of Bengal. He abolished the dual system in Bengal in 17. Now, what he did? He abolished the dual system of Bengal in 1772, and the then Nawab was the disposed and pensioned. The then Nawab, he was disposed and pensioned off. The treasury was shifted to Calcutta. Calcutta from Murshidabad, and Calcutta became the capital of Bengal. Now, the treasury, it was shifted to Calcutta, that was from Murshidabad, and Calcutta, what it became? It became the capital of Bengal. Later, it became the capital of, afterwards what happened? It became the capital of British India. The company took over the responsibility of administration and collection. Now, company, what happened? It took the charges of the responsibility of administration and even the collection of revenue. Now, take out your diary, write consequences of battle, explain, homework, revise it. And with this, I am ending my today's class. Goodbye.